This is your soccer zombie, Tom Franklin here. We are going into enemy territory. We're cutting through rural Missouri, and we are going into Kansas. Me and the St. Louis Santos! From soccer zombie to lucha zombie, we are here in Kansas. We have arrived safely. We are in the orange lot, which is the farthest lot away from the Children's Mercy Park. You can't even see it there in the background. Enjoying some street tacos here before the game, meeting some good friends. Had a very special moment for one of our supporters that were on the bus. Super Santo is one of our most dedicated supporters.
Flashback.
And he had a chance to see his son today, who was in from the Air Force. We all surprised him, and it was just a great moment. Now, I'm hoping for some more great moments here inside the stadium as a St. Louis fan. Isn't it obvious, by the way? But here's the problem. We're not playing very well lately. St. Louis has been just absolutely awful, as you can see in the form. We sacked our head coach. We do have some new signings coming in today that bring us some hope here that we'll probably see in the lineup. Here's some positive news if you're a St. Louis fan. Sporting Kansas City isn't playing the best either. I mean, look at their form here as well. Not a red there, a lot of gray. We have seen some more green in there lately, so they've been playing better of late, but still nothing that is insurmountable. Three, two, one. Ta-da! And what is a friendly tailgate without friendship bracelets? A little Ted Lasso action there with the Believe. You gotta love to see it here. So this is my team. These are my people. Some of my favorite people here, are fans of this club. They're actually calling this derby El Tragico because both teams are terrible this year, as you saw earlier. So, in light of that, we are going to do something different. You're going to get this. The away day ratings, something I debuted in the Forward Madison vlog, if you had a chance to check that out. And what it is very simple. I'm going to be reviewing Children's Mercy Park on 4 different categories: value, game quality, the stadium, and the vibes. And I'm going to grade them on a scale of 1 to 10, and we'll see if I can be objective about my rival's stadium. Now, to be fair, I've been to Children's Mercy before. This is my 3rd time that I've been here. The first 2 times, I like the park itself. I have things to say about the area that it's in, but I haven't really checked out concessions very much. And of course, the vibe might be a bit skewed because I will be in the St. Louis area, but I'm gonna also take bigger attention to how the KC fans are vibing out to this as well. So we've got a long walk to the stadium here. It's free to park in this parking lot, but the problem is it's about a mile away. So we've got a long journey ahead of us. Let's get to it. Vamos.
A few moments later.
I assure you, we are not at Hard Rock Stadium right now. This is not the Copa America. These are all St. Louis City fans waiting to get into the stadium. The line is that long. This isn't Colombia, Argentina, I assure you. I don't care where your stadium is located, if it is located in the middle of the city or in the middle of suburban hell. the fact that Nebraska Furniture Mart looms over it like it does here is going to lose you a point or two. It's just a fact. All right, on that note, I guess we're off into the stadium review. I will say we did get through the gates pretty quickly. It's just that when you have a bunch of people show up at the same time, these things tend to happen. But once you're through the gates, you're greeted by this kind of open congregational area outside of the stadium and what I would consider to be the main entrance of Children's Mercy Park. In the past, there's been more going on around here. They might have milk giveaways or something like that, but this time around, not a whole lot going on before the game, but just people in a comfortable space kind of milling and talking and kind of gathering themselves before they go into the stadium. You got this nice entryway here that leads you into the stadium. We'll go and take a walk here just a little bit. And then you walk in to Children's Mercy Park, and you've got this, it's a very nice and open kind of a look to it. Open, it's airy, it's clean looking. And once you're inside the stadium, the concourses are very easy to navigate. They're wide, they're open, you're not bumping into a lot of people. You also notice that there is a lot of restrooms, which is a big plus. Also a lot of merchandise stands as well, which, it's not a bad thing. Teams got to make money too, and Sporting Kansas City has some good merchandise. Those Wizard kits are really nice, by the way. Of course, I'm a St. Louis fan. I won't buy one personally, but that's just me. There's also these grab-and-go concessions. You also have a couple regular concession stands, but I found those to be a little lacking. We'll talk more about those a little later on. You have another entrance as well on the other side of the stadium, so it's not just the one way to go in, which is good. Seating is mostly one level. I don't really feel at any point in this stadium you feel truly far away from the action, which is a big plus as well. The seats themselves, comfy, they're fine, they function, and they're also wide so that, if you're a bigger guy like myself, they're actually pretty comfortable. That's a good word to describe this stadium, comfortable. And also props to the roof design here. Another plus for Children's Mercy Park. It is pissing rain out there, and yet not a drop here. No one is rushing to the concourses for cover because there is cover above us. Nicely done. And if this stadium were just in a better location and a more urban environment with more fun things to do around it, this would get a higher score. But look at this area, man. It is just suburban. I just cannot vibe with this at all. Like, the whole objective of this video was to objectively rate your stadium. And I'm sorry, Cauldron, you were vibing this game, but I can't take you seriously with the furniture store overlooking you. I can't! Okay, enough about Nebraska Furniture Mart here. The stadium is still a very solid stadium, and as I said, very comfortable. I've always enjoyed going there. Just the location is just so bad. The parking lot that we were set up in was way out in Timbuktu, and it could use some more concessions. But overall, Children's Mercy Park is a very solid stadium, worth your time. So I think even with those issues, it's still a solid 8, but it could have been higher. And now onto the game itself, and first things first, both sides were very hyped up for this one, KC fans and of course the St. Louis fans too. And then just because these two teams aren't doing very well this year doesn't mean they couldn't put on a good performance. Look at some of these saves Roman Berkey makes, for instance. And St. Louis also had chances of their own as well. But while you could definitely argue that Kansas City had the better advantage of play in the first half, it would be St. Louis that would strike first. Also, thank you to Wes Perkins on Twitter for letting me use this video that he shot from field level. This was actually a game that he went to with his 8-year-old Luke. It was his birthday present, and what a gift. And then from here, KC started to kind of assert itself in the start of the second half, although St. Louis still had its own chances as well. But it would be KC that would tie it up before long. And while the gameplay wasn't perfect at times, it was still a well-played matchup and a rivalry match that had some drama to it for the entire way.
Here we go, last kick of the game, this is it!
And in these type of matches, that's kind of all you want, especially if you're neutral.
That's it, GG's. Final score, Sporting Kansas City 1. Not bad, not bad, not bad. As a St. Louis fan, I don't mind the point on the road here. I thought KC outplayed us. Good game by both teams, honestly, no complaints.
So all in all, it was a very entertaining game. It was a 1-1 draw, and you would have liked to see more goals, but you also saw some good play from both sides, really. I don't think either side was too upset about how this game went for either one of their teams, honestly. I mean, both St. Louis and Kansas City are kind of heading in the wrong directions already, and this game didn't really change that very much. So because it was a little inconsequential, the game quality score does suffer a bit, but I still give it a good 7.5. It was fine. And now we move on to value, and this is one that I can't really speak on personally because my ticket was free through the St. Louis Santos supporters group, and I was part of the away section, so I don't pay anything for that ticket. I paid for my bus ticket, that was it. But I will say that there's some good and bad here. The good here is that if you wanted to attend this particular game, you would not have paid very much if you had waited a couple hours before kickoff. These were the cheapest prices on SeatGeek before the game started. But these concession prices ain't it. $24 for a popcorn chicken bucket, $15 for chicken tenders. Oh, and then if you actually want something to wash it down with, yeah, I can't say that I'm a big fan of the price of this. $7.69 it ended up being with tax for a standard 20-ounce soda. Not the best. And again, there weren't many concession options in general, which was a complaint I heard from both KC and St. Louis fans, though they did have, again, these grab-and-go kiosks. I don't think we need another discussion on how overpriced MLS merch can be, so we're not even going to bother with that. I will say, though, that parking was free, and again, those ticket prices weren't bad, so it saves the value from having a really, really terrible score here. I'm going to go with a 6. If you just pay for a ticket and you park in the orange lot and don't mind a long walk, it's not bad. Just when you're inside the stadium, though, like, maybe eat beforehand. All right, and now the tough part, the vibes. Can I be objective as a St. Louis fan on this? This is going to be really, really hard. Hi, it's Editor Tom from the future here. I have no idea how I'm actually going to pull this off. Okay, I'm going to be straight with you right now. It is very hard to hear Kansas City fans from the St. Louis section at Children's Mercy Park. This is the third regular season game St. Louis has invaded Children's Mercy Park for, and every single time there's a bit of a noise bubble that forms over our section. So yes, St. Louis fans, if I just rated the St. Louis fans, the vibes, 10 out of 10, video done, we can move on with our lives. But I'm not just rating the St. Louis fans, I have to try to glean something from the Kansas City fans as well, even though I only went over there at the start of the game. And this is the first impression that I got from them. I am walking as an opposing team's fan in the section where the Kansas City supporters are. This is the Blue Hell right behind me, right over here. I'm walking right through. Zero issues. KC fans have been very friendly. They've been friendly the last 2 times I've been here too, and that's no different here in this case as well. Yes, it's a rivalry, but this is proof that you can still be friendly and have a rivalry, so that gets some points in my book. Now, were there sections where there was a lot of empty seats? Yes. I would say the stadium was probably about 90 to 95% full, which is still admirable, but it could be better for a rivalry match. But again, as we talked about before this game, Sporting Kansas City isn't doing the best this year. Neither is St. Louis. This is also nothing new in this rivalry. We've been meeting multiple times already. I think we're up to 7 now. So I can understand why maybe some of the initial piss and vinegar for this rivalry might be a little dampened today. A lot of KC fans did not leave early to quote-unquote beat the traffic. They hung around for the game, which is admirable, and I can respect that. And it looked like when KC fans needed to get hyped, they got hyped. I mean, look at how they're reacting to this goal. I mean, everyone's up, they're cheering, they're engaged, they're obviously focused on the game, which is good. I mean, I don't have anything really bad to say about this, really. And they did pull out this interesting tifo, which it looked nice. It was well done, but I don't necessarily agree with the message that Children's Mercy Park is this big grand fortress. I mean, yes, St. Louis has not won at Children's Mercy Park, and that was still the case after today, but you're in 12th. Just saying. Oh, and I do have a running gag in some of my videos where I try to find a fan that is wearing a Lionel Messi kit at one of these games. Congratulations, Kansas City. I didn't find one. But yes, I will say that St. Louis fans definitely made themselves more assertive. They were more loud, in my opinion. I mean, granted, I was in that section, but I've heard from others that were watching on the broadcast that we were very vocal in this one. Maybe this spurs KC fans to get a little more hyped about their team and maybe their games, but again, also poor performance plays into that as well. So I empathize with you KC fans because we're going through it too. But how can you say the vibes are elite when you play in the shadow of a damn furniture mart?
Look, the Cauldron has solid fans. I'm not going to deny that. But look at the backdrop. A furniture mart looms over your supporter section. Like, I'm sorry, I can't give you guys a great rating for this. I can't with that in the background.
Okay, so I've come to a decision here. If I'm going to be objective, I have to grade everything into one big stew, and that includes the St. Louis element into this one. So yes, the St. Louis fans contribute to this score here. I'm giving the overall vibes I had in this particular game at Children's Mercy Park at 7.5 out of 10. And in the end, that gives Children's Mercy Park a final score of 29 out of 40, a very respectable score. Hurt by the value, mostly just because of the fact that the concessions are kind of substandard. Also, the stadium location is terrible, but honestly, Children's Mercy Park itself, take the location out of it, I would probably give it a 9.5 if it weren't for location, honestly. So yeah, if you're thinking about going to Children's Mercy Park, take it from a St. Louis fan. It's all right.
And that's the long and short of it. Children's Mercy Park, 3 times I've been here, 3 times I've had a good time, good fans, good stadium, terrible location, value, okay. But I never have a bad time here, so I hope my score was objective enough for you guys. I tried to, but I am obviously a little bit biased in that regard. If you enjoyed this content, please make sure to like and subscribe for more. Of course, if you enjoy my content and you want to help me out a little bit, help me fund trips like this in the future, join the supporters section. It's just 99 cents a month, and you get to join these cool people that you see right here. This is your soccer zombie, Tom Franklin here, and if you want a more game flow type of a vlog here from Kansas, check out the last video that I did from this rivalry just a few months ago. It's actually right up there.